Audubon Park. We're uptown New Orleans, about as far uptown as you can go up the Mississippi River. We're about 6 miles from the original city of the French Quarter. This land was once a plantation, like most of uptown New Orleans, plantation land along the Mississippi River. And of course it all sold off eventually, as the city grew along the river. But this particular piece of land here was never developed. It was never really sold off and subdivided like so much of the other areas along the river. And what happened is, since it was sort of the last big plot of land that was undeveloped, the city ended up purchasing the land in 1871 and establishing this park. It was actually called Upper City Park at the time that they began to develop it, and then later renamed Audubon Park after the naturalist James Audubon, who lived and worked in New Orleans for a while. And over 1,000 of these live oak trees in the park. They plant 20 of these trees every year to make sure that the trees keep going for generations to come. These trees can live hundreds of years, and there is one of these trees, the Tree of Life, located in the park that's at least 300 years old. The park also has a golf course too. Now, I'm here to try to solve a mystery. A lot of people in New Orleans, even to this day, think that there's the possibility, at least, of a meteorite here in the park. A meteorite that struck the city back in 1891. At least that's what the headlines of the Daily Picayune said. Big headlines: meteorite strikes Audubon Park. They even had eyewitness accounts of people over Atlanta who saw the trailblaze coming in. Over Biloxi too, they had eyewitness accounts. And this meteorite struck and landed and lodged right here in in Audubon Park. Now we're on the golf course, and I'm going to come up to what they say is this meteorite here. This has been here all along. Now, there is a reality to this situation, but when you take a look at this thing, you might say, maybe it is a meteorite. This is, by the way, the 18th hole, just off the fairway here. And this is actually a piece of iron ore. Now, we don't have iron ore in the ground here, that's for sure. I mean, there's not even a pebble. This is all silt laid down by the Mississippi River around these parts. But this big chunk of iron ore right here in the park, and it was actually part of an exhibit left over by the Alabama State Pavilion of a World's Fair event. It was the World Cotton Expo here in 1884. And they deemed it too expensive to move, and so they just left it here, and it's been here ever since. It's actually been here since 1884. That newspaper account in 1891 in the Daily Picayune, that was an April Fool's joke. It's not real. It's not really a meteorite, but this is a very unusual piece of this is a very unusual structure, piece of, this is piece of the earth really that came out of the ground in Alabama, this iron ore. I'm Munson Chauvin for New Orleans Walks. If you ever have a chance to come up to Audubon Park, it is a beautiful place. That's Loyola University. And you can walk through the park. There's a 1.8 mile walking, jogging trail around the park. Also, Audubon Zoo is located. There's a great area along the river as well, known as the Fly. Take the streetcar up from the city. You can come all the way up to and get off and walk right into the park. Streetcar stops right in front of the park.